Following multiple huge stories tonight, and we're going to catch you up on everything, and it's a lot, so buckle up. First, there's Hope Hicks, the fifth White House communications director in a little over a year, announcing today that she is resigning, joining the parade of people from the Trump administration fleeing for the exits. Hicks announcing her departure just one day after admitting she told lies, what she characterized as white lies, but lies nonetheless, in the service of President Trump. A source telling CNN's Aaron Burnett that Trump berated Hicks for admitting she had lied and asked her how she could be so stupid. And there's more news from inside this chaotic White House. Jared Kushner, the president's son-in-law, his senior advisor, reportedly got big loans for his family business after he met with top Wall Street executives at the White House. That's according to the New York Times. Kushner also described as acting paranoid. A CNN source says Kushner feels everyone is out to get him after losing his top secret security clearance and in the middle of his pitched battle with Chief of Staff John Kelly. A White House insider saying the president is increasingly frustrated with all the enemies General Kelly is making. And there's also the latest crisis of the president's own making, his public shaming of his own hand-picked attorney general. The president tweeting today, why is AG Jeff Sessions asking the inspector general to investigate potentially massive FISA abuse? Will take forever, has no prosecutorial power, and already late with reports on Comey, etc. Isn't the IG an Obama guy? Why not use Justice Department lawyers? Disgraceful. So to answer the president's questions, the inspector general, Michael Horowitz, is investigating because that's his job. And none of this is really what the president is steamed about. That's not what he's steamed about. It's not what he's mad about. He continues to blame Jeff Sessions for the Mueller investigation. And now tonight, we have learned Mueller is looking into exactly why Trump wanted to oust Sessions last summer. And here we go again. News that on any other night would be our top story. President Trump holds a live, televised meeting on guns with Republicans and Democrats and ends up sounding an awful lot like a Democrat, calling for a ban on bump stocks, strengthening background checks, and raising the age of gun purchases from 18 to 21. Remember when gun advocates still love to say that Obama wants to take away your guns. Now Trump actually does. Listen.
Take the firearms first and then go to court. A lot of times by the time you go to court, it takes so long to go to court to get the due process procedures. I like taking the guns early.
So a recap just on the open of this show. Bombshell resignations, White House infighting, guns, all of that, and it's only Wednesday. So let's bring in now CNN senior White House correspondent Jeff Zeleny. Jeff, so let's see, where do we start? The White House under a barrage of bad headlines tonight. What's the latest?
Don, certainly a busy day on a variety of fronts here at the White House, as you covered there. I mean, there was this dramatic session in the cabinet room of the White House this afternoon that seemed to really be the driving story of the day here, if you will, with the president having this session with Democrats and Republicans sitting down trying to broker a deal on guns. He said, do not be petrified by the NRA. He said that now's the time to do something. Literally minutes after that meeting broke up, news came from the White House that Hope Hicks, the communications director, one of the closest advisors to the president, said she was resigning. So, of course, that in some ways overshadowed that entire NRA meeting. Again, this morning, the president going after his attorney general, Jeff Sessions, once again, which has become this repeated sort of series of events here, always going after Jeff Sessions, who was, of course, an early supporter, early advisor on the campaign. So, Don, as we end a busy Wednesday here, the White House still pushing guns, but there is this staff shakeup, this resignation that really is different than all the others. We've been through this before. We've been here before saying this person resigned, that person resigned. Hope Hicks is different, Don.
Yeah. But who has five communications directors just over a year? I mean, I hate to laugh. It's laughable. I just cannot. Who can believe this?
Right. But, Don, it's even more than that. Yes, she had the title of communications director, but it is much more than that. Hope Hicks was more than the communications director.
Right.
She was the
Trump
like a member of the
family.
Whisperer. She understood him, and she, in many respects, her voice was not known outside. You know, we see a lot of people on Sunday talk shows. We see them advising, you know, presidents and sort of, you know, out here on the lawn giving interviews. This was not Hope Hicks, but her voice inside was very loud and very clear. She was involved in virtually every big story. The president was involved in every big speech. She traveled with him. And Don, I'm remembering tonight thinking back to a trip last July when the president was flying back from Hamburg, Germany, the G20, back here to Washington. Hope Hicks was on that plane. I was on that plane as a pool reporter after this long foreign trip. And that was the time, we didn't know it at the moment, where they were devising the communication strategy for that Trump Tower meeting from 2016. Hope Hicks was in the room as they were talking about, wait, this wasn't about adoptions for Russia. It was about dirt on Hillary Clinton. So that, I was thinking about that again today, Don. Hope Hicks was present for every station of this situation, which is one of the reasons she spent 8 hours yesterday, of course, before the House Intelligence Committee. She spent 2 days before Bob Mueller's team at the end of last year. So all that builds up to, is it why she resigned today? We don't know. She said she wanted to pursue other opportunities. But Don, I can tell you there was a ripple effect that was felt here. I was told that people were crying when she was saying that she was leaving. She is a force here in the White House that will be leaving in the coming weeks. And my question, how will the president deal without his aide next to him? He can call out Hope, for all these variety of things. So this was a bigger deal than a lot of resignations.
Without his Trump whisper.